What's going on, guys? I haven't talked about Magic in a while, but I really just wanted to kind of get some thoughts out and just go on a rant about Magic and how I think you can simply boil this down to it feels like there's a battle for the soul of Magic the Gathering. And let me kind of explain that a little bit more. It it feels like there are so many different factions within the Magic community, and you could say that with any TCG, right? Like you've always got like the players, the collectors, the investors, right? But I feel like with Magic, it's way more than just that. You have people who prefer standard. You prefer people who prefer commander. You have people who hate Universes Beyond. You have people who only got into Magic because Universes Beyond. There's so many different flavors and just niches, I guess, that like when you compare it to Pokemon, you've basically got player, collector, investor, vintage, modern, sealed, graded, raw. Right? I mean, that's about it, right? And then you got the people who like play the. I mean, that's about it, right? It's you could literally break the Pokemon community into that: players, collectors, investors, graded, raw, sealed, boom. There's really no different formats. There's just one game type of Pokemon. You could play, I guess, like your out of format and in for whatever, right? But it's Pokemon. The game's been the same essentially for God knows how long, right? Almost 30 years. I'm sure there's been some slight tweaks, right? But it's the same game. Magic, you've got modern, pauper, standard, draft, vintage, legacy. I don't even know half the formats, right? So there's a billion different formats, which is awesome, which is cool, right? But man, I feel as if, and I know that like all the people in these communities are going to completely disagree with what I have to say. I feel that they shouldn't cater to the game to those communities. I feel like the communities should exist and they're good communities, like the pot, but when you start going and making certain product designed around that, when you're just cutting out so many pieces of the pie. And like that's, I guess that's my biggest complaint with Magic. Again, it's like a battle of the soul. There's like so many different wedges of this pie coming out that it's just like the community seems so divided. Whereas like the Pokemon community is just like, oh, we hate scalpers. That's about all they got, right? That is about the most constructive negative you're gonna get out of Pokemon is scalpers. It's like, all right, cool, fair enough. I got you, cool, fair enough. I heard you, fair enough. Magic, it's like, again, Universes Beyond, the AI art, the this, the that, the power, but it's like, oh my god. And so that's the biggest thing for me is it's just like it's a cluster. It's a nougaty cluster F. Go watch old Dane cook. My second biggest issue, and this is the one that really doesn't keep me up at night, but it's something I really think about. Like let's think about the last, or let's not the last, but just like the most successful modern Magic sets, right? Let's just like think about the most successful modern Magic sets. All right, so let's just do the top 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously it's like Lord of the Rings, Holiday, right? Whichever one's and then it's like, these aren't going to be an exact order, but they're pretty much about spot on, right? So then you got like the other Lord of the Rings. You've got Final Fantasy. And then you've got Fallout. Are you noticing a trend? The trend is none of these are Magic IP. None of these have anything to do with Magic. Now, however, I could be wrong on this, but I'm gonna just to somewhat help you guys out here. I will put Bloomborough. Now, many of you may know, besides a few play boxes of Final Fantasy, the last Magic I ever bought, sealed wise, because I have been messing with some reserve list cards. Bloomborough is the last collector product I ever bought, and I really haven't bought much. I mean, if you know, you know. I'll get into it later, but basically, yeah, I won a poker tournament, and I went out and bought some Bloomborough collector boxes at like $200 a box. I think it was actually even a pre-order. Anyway, if you look at Bloomborough, it's doing quite well. Now, Bloomborough, that is something. This right here could be a case study, bro. Because this right here goes against everything that these are. It's not a Universes Beyond. It's original IP. It doesn't have any serialized cards. This right here is why I think that there's still, this is like the little glimmer of hope that I have. Like, this is a little beacon, a little shining light that Magic has left. They still can make good original, right? Like Bloomborough is, it feels like Magic. I need Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, whoever the hell, I need you guys to go get with Netflix, Hulu, whoever, I don't care. Make an animated series, for the love of God. I've been shouting it for the last 2-3 years. If you want your product to be successful, if you want to revitalize your IP and stop having to rely on other companies like you do with all your board games, you need to make an animated series. You gotta do. I'm telling you, One Piece. One Piece is gonna end up outbeating and outperforming Magic the Gathering if they don't figure out something with their IP, right? Now, I say this to the end because I figure most people aren't gonna be watching. Are we about to? Is the bear market of Magic upon us now? And what I mean by bear market? Do we think Bloomberg's going to keep going? I think it's going to stop. I think Bloomberg's about to halt at 800. I think that I think a lot of people lost not a lot of people lost it. Basically, there's going to be some people who pre-ordered Spider-Man for $1,000. Now, hopefully they're smart enough in the whatever, right? Like, this Spider-Man situation is going to put a little damper on the market that we had going. But to be honest, and I'm going to talk about more about this with Pokemon too. I foresee now when I say, oh, the Pokemon, like, I don't think Pokemon's going to crash. Like, I just think that people are going to go, like, this is what you have to realize, guys. Because I'm already there, and I was there about a month or two ago, so I know other people are thinking the same thing I'm thinking and doing the same thing I'm doing. So it's only like a matter, like another 3-6 months before the public finally, gets with it. Is modern sealed investing still the right option when booster boxes are coming out at $300 a box? No. Here's a question. Should you buy a brand new $300 Mega Evolutions booster box? Or should you maybe go look at some older booster boxes that are still like $250? And when enough people start going, again, the Pokemon market isn't collapsing, or these markets aren't collapsing, but when modern product starts hitting a price where people go, there's some older stuff that's cheaper than this newer stuff. I wonder if the market's not paying it, they're kind of missing out, they're not paying. I wonder if that's just not being paid attention to and probably should be. And then eventually enough people will be like, oh, this new stuff's maybe a little too expensive. Let's go. Again, you gotta flip when they flop, and you gotta flop when they flip. That's all I got, guys. Magic. Figure out your IP situation. You know, at the end of the day, guys, I'm just a guy who loves old vintage Magic. I love the look. I love the design of that old vintage art. And yeah, maybe I'm just an old guy. Maybe I'm just an old hag. What do I know? Have a good one, guys.